Hey, it's Brendan here, and this week, instead of a full episode, I just have a very short announcement. I want to let you know that I do have one more Big Fish in the Middle Kingdom interview that I'm going to put up for next week's show. It was a fantastic interview, very moving to me. There might have been some watering of some eyes at a few points, but it's very funny. You're really going to enjoy this conversation, so I hope you will tune in next week for that. I am working to wrap this show up. I'll keep the catalog online forever. So since you listen to this show, you probably are aware that I have two other podcasts. I have my new show, If I Knew You Better, which is kind of a global version of this, basically, where the guests don't necessarily have a China connection, although lately many of them have, and I've cross-posted those several times. And the reason I'm recording this blurb for you right now is because I think that if you like this particular show, you will really like this week's episode of How China Works. Ying sits down with film director Malcolm Clarke. And if you live in China, it's kind of hard to avoid him because you have been seeing advertisements and he's been on CGTN, he's been in the press. He is a British documentary filmmaker. He has 2 Academy Awards, and his current film is getting a release in China July 2nd. His current film is called Better Angels, and it looks at the U.S.-China relationship and has many fresh thoughts and very personal stories about how this extremely complex and interdependent relationship can move forward. One thing I really appreciate about Malcolm Clarke is that he is determined to not be or to come across as a propagandist or a cheerleader for China. He looks at things with very clear eyes, but because he is also not American, he is able to look at us Americans in a more objective way. And I think that he really has insights that are worth hearing and repeating. So I hope you will check this out. Please search How China Works in all of the podcatchers wherever you listen to this show. I'm also going to have the links in the show notes here. You can also find all the shows and info about everything else via crazyinagoodway.com. That is basically my web hub for all things podcasting. Thanks for listening to this, and I hope that I will see you next week on Big Fish in the Middle Kingdom.